Dave, what did you think of the energy, effort, and overall play of the Lakers against the Clippers last night?
Guys, I loved it. I just got down to Orlando on Monday, so I hadn't seen the scrimmages in person. So this is my first. That was my first taste of seeing what this NBA operation was like with my own two eyes. I couldn't have been more impressed. Not only just by the effort by the players, of course, and when it came down to crunch time yesterday, you could have told me I was in an NBA arena, I would have believed it. But the entire setup down here, and I mean every precaution and every, I guess, just like the professional touch to it. It was great. And the encouraging part was this was game one of the seeding games. And part of my concern going into this thing was, can this really feel like they're games of consequence when it really needs to matter, when it's an NBA Finals game? And those kind of concerns were, I think, solved and went away yesterday after seeing the way those games played out. And, I'm excited to go back to the arena in a couple hours to do it again.
Dave McMenamin joining us. Time for some Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. So from the games, and we're breaking them down some, but we're not going to get too crazy breaking them down in just the first game back. But was there anything on the court of play by anybody in particular on either side that may have surprised you a little bit?
I don't know if it's surprising, but the idea that Kawhi Leonard had 4 months off to kind of get his body right, and then just to see him go to work. And, there was a time in that Lakers Clippers game where it looked like the Clippers were just going to run away with it. And it was just because Kawhi took the game over. Paul George had his moments as well, too. He scored 30, Kawhi scored 28, but just the economy of motion that Kawhi plays with. But at the same time, the really solid, honest defensive effort that LeBron gave against him, to the point where LeBron put it on his Instagram after the game that he was laying on the floor of his hotel room. He was so tired, but I picked up on that when we talked to LeBron post game. His energy level was so low, and I was like, okay, this guy is spent. But in terms of surprising, the Lakers have to feel pretty good about themselves having Dion Waiters come in, score double digits in a game that matters. The first time he played in an actual Lakers game was last night. Kyle Kuzma, who looked great in those scrimmages, it carried over. He was great again last night. And in the first game, JJ Redick, we're about the same age, and he was talking about the work he put in over the hiatus. Not that I was, I go on these late night walks, where I'd walk 5-6 miles and felt pretty good about where my pandemic body was. JJ said he weighs the least he has since Duke, and it showed. He was flying around the court and making plays, and even though they didn't get the win, the Jazz won the game. The Pelicans are going to be a tough out down the stretch here.
Dave McMenamin with us here on Golic and Wingo. And sticking with the Pels there, Zion, obviously a strict minutes restriction. Was there any talk about how long that was going to last? As we know, the Pelicans have a legitimate shot at trying to get into that play-in scenario in the West.
Yeah, Alvin Gentry, the coach, didn't really get into the length of time. And then they're just, the way they've approached Zion Williamson, knowing that he has such a unique body, and knowing that he is such a, not just a incredible talent that they believe could be the linchpin for a championship, but incredibly important to their business. I mean, he's a legit star, and you can't keep your eyes off of him when he's on the court. They'll ease him back, slowly rather than quickly. But I imagine by the time they get to the third or fourth seeding game here, you'll see the regular minutes you're accustomed to Zion. And Zion had 13 points in 15 minutes last night. So hopefully, you get him up to the 30-minute range and see if he can keep up that same type of production.
Dave McMenamin with us, our Lakers reporter, and it's his every intention to be in the bubble for a while because the Lakers have the stated goal of winning the NBA championship. So for you, Dave, so far, I always want to hear from this when people are down there and new this. Take us inside your bubble experience. How has it been? And can you confirm or deny that you are one of the people that Rachel Nichols reported about that brought in full arcade games or couches to wherever you're staying?
I really like that report from Rachel. No, I'm not a gamer, but I did overpack with random. I brought probably 17 polos, and I'm recognizing that we can do laundry here. That was probably overdoing it. But no, so far I got here Monday night, so and I'm on the tier 2 level bubble. I do this till late August, and I switch into tier 1 for the conference finals and finals. So, I came in and we had to get a test and, go and quarantine for 24 hours, waiting the test results, got the negative test results, and was allowed to be going into the arena. It's pretty easy. I'm staying in a nice hotel on a Disney property, get shuttled to the arena. They feed us at the arena. We have great seats. I could do this 12 months a year rather than a couple months a year. So no complaints over here.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll see if we can how long could one bubble? Maybe that'll be Dave McMenamin's calling going forward once the NBA season is over.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.